for their master's and PhD, they cover your tuition. They give you a stipend. So like University of Central Michigan, their stipend at that time was $11,000.
Wow.
And they also give you housing. So technically, the only thing you're using your money for is food.
It's food, basically, yeah. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Ayokunle, and today we have Winnie Bush. When is the ideal time to start submitting an application?
Yeah, every school is different as well to submit application. I would say, like, for example, if you're trying to, this fall is about to be too late. So fall is typically in August. That's when the fall semester starts in August. So typically, I know like for the international admissions people, they always say apply at least a year before the year you want to start. For example, the next class now would be the fall of 2023. So people who want to start in August of next year. So you should be trying to get all your materials ready now. Typically, universities will have, especially for graduate school, they'll have like December 1 as their deadline. Generally, every university in America is different. None of them have the same deadline. So it's just everyone's different. But typically, like I know, like my program for my master's program, it was December 1st was their deadline, and then a lot of them, especially for graduate school. So if you're coming to do your master's or your PhD, they do like interviews as well. So they have to interview you for admissions. Also, sometimes they also interview you for a graduate assistantship, which is their funding. Portion of it. So December 1st, I would say. But I tell people right now, like, try to get all your materials together. You know, a lot of times they'll also, like, universities will request for references from you. So people, whether it's faculty member or staff members, to talk about the work you've done, talk about your character, your character. So this is the time to now start reaching out to some of those people to be like, oh, you know, like I'm planning on applying to schools in the United States. Would you be able to serve as a positive reference for me? Like, this is the time to start doing those things. If you're somebody that wants to take SAT or ACT, I wasn't one of them, but if you're someone that wants to take that, this is also the time to start, you know, preparing yourself to take the test as well.
So the earlier the better, actually.
Exactly. The earlier the better. I would I agree with that.
So now let's move to the universities that you recommend personally.
Off the top of my head, I would definitely say I recommend my university that I attended for my bachelor's, Jackson State University. Jackson State, they have full funding. So they have full funding, and it's also pretty diverse as well.
In which states again, please?
So Jackson State University is in Jackson, Mississippi.
Mississippi. That's
where I did my bachelor's degree. So they have full funding, and they offer a lot of funding for international students. Also in Mississippi, there's another school called ALCORN State University. I'm actually doing a video about them.
I'll put everything on the screen, you know,
perfect.
for our viewers to see.
They have funding as well. Some other universities is Alabama State University. They have it's called their Presidential Scholarship that offers full funding for people for their bachelor's program. There is also FISK University is another university as well. FISK, I think it's in Nashville. I know it's in Tennessee. I'm not sure what city, but it's in Tennessee. So FISK University also have full funding. The University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. That was also another offer that I got, but I decided to go to Jackson State. But University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff, they have what's called their Chancellor's Scholarship. So that offers full funding. There's also Johnson C. Smith University, full funding. The funding that's called the James B. Duke Scholarship. There's Claflin University. There's Georgia State University, Dillard University, TOUGALOO. TOUGALOO is another college in Mississippi as well. So TOUGALOO College, they have a presidential academic scholarship that provides full funding. So a lot of those are for the undergraduate. So for those, typically undergraduate full funding, they cover your tuition. They cover room and board. So you get like on-campus housing in your residence halls. You get a meal plan so you can eat for free. Also at Jackson State, they gave me like $1,000 for books. So like for textbooks for classes, I was able to buy it with that $1,000. So that's typically for undergrad.
All right.
I think it's only one university that I know that covers flights, which is amazing. I'm trying to think.
Covers flight.
I know. I was like, what? I was like, I did not get the memo.
Wow.
Some universities that offer full funding for their master's and PhD programs. So some that we have, like I already said, I did Kent State. So Kent State provides full funding. There's also Ball State. Ball State is in Indiana. They offer full funding as well. There's Bowling Green University, which is another university in Ohio. They offer full funding. Florida State University, University of North Florida, Central Michigan University. That's the one I really love because their stipend was a lot. I think when I applied, so they offer, like, for their master's and PhD, they have, so they cover your tuition. Typically, it's called a graduate assistantship. They cover your tuition. They give you a stipend. So, like, University of Central Michigan, their stipend at that time was $11,000.
Wow. And
they also give you housing. So technically, the only thing you're using your money for is food.
It's food, basically.
So that's it. But at Kent State University, I worked in my graduate assistantship was with their residential life team. Now they call it university housing. Anyway, so with that, they covered my tuition, so I didn't pay any school fees. They covered 70% of my health insurance. They gave me housing as well. So I had housing, I had a meal plan, and then they gave me a stipend. The stipend at that time was $7,000. I'm not sure if it has increased yet, but technically everything else was covered. So housing, food was covered. So, but some other universities as well that offer full funding for master's and PhD. There's University of Utah. There's Colorado State University. There's University of Connecticut, or UConn is what they call them. There's also Ohio State University as well. And of course, we have University of Nebraska as well. So those are some of the other universities that I know that offer full funding.
Yeah, so guys, she has done the job for you guys. She has done the research. So you have no more excuse. So just reach out to these universities. Or if you're not ready, just prepare in advance, improve your resume. If you're still in school, make sure you finish with a very, very strong CGPA. And do you have anything else to add?
I think just in general, I think this is something, I think a lot of times when you start looking at studying abroad, it seems almost impossible.
Absolutely.
It is possible. You have so many people who've been through this journey. Like I said, I've been almost a little over 8 years now in the United States. And you have people like us who are trying to share this information with you. So just keep doing your research. Reach out to people. Like, don't be afraid to reach out to either of us through Instagram or wherever, LinkedIn, whatever social media there is, or even through YouTube to just say, I saw this video, blah, blah, blah. And, we're here to help you. So don't be a stranger. Reach out for help, but do your research. Like, I think I always just go back to that. You cannot expect for everyone to do the work for you. It's your journey. It's your experience. It's whatever you make of it. And you also want to be willing to tell your story as well. So just make sure you do your research. And it's not impossible. It's very possible.
It's very possible,
It might seem tough, but you're tougher. So
absolutely, and you have nothing to lose. Just give it a shot, So thank you very much for enlightening us. Not only my viewers, also me. I've learned so much. Unfortunately, it's late for me. I no longer I don't need to apply for any scholarship anymore. But for people out there, for young Nigerians, young Africans out there, there are so many people I receive. I don't know. I'm very, very sure you do as well. Tons of emails every day, and comments. So, guys, again, our YouTube channel. The link will be in the description. The name of our channel is Winning with Winnie. I
like the way you say it. Winning.
So thank you very much once again for coming. And guys, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and again, we'll see you again in the next one. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.